We're live.
Hi, finally! Oh my god, what's happening? We are here now, so you are on Online World Summit for live streamers. And today we are focusing, or this week we are focusing on Business Accelerator. And yeah, there were some challenges with the internet bandwidth and everything. But hey, if you don't have it, it means that you are not a live streamers, right? So welcome, welcome. Good morning from Bali, and maybe good evening on your time zone, or maybe good midnight in Europe, I guess. Rosbrand, thank you very much for being here again to open our event. So it's been an honor for me to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on another Online World Summit for live streamers. How many is this now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I asked you how many summits is this now?
Maybe the fifth one,
Wow.
or the sixth one. I don't count. The most important thing is my purpose is like we provide the platform for the, how do you call it, the experts to share their knowledge, their what is it, their skills are, of course, and mostly their experiences in life and business to reach the top for what they are now or where they are now. And I'm very happy with our sponsors who support us or to support us in this live streaming event. And really, again, thank you very much for being here, Ross. It's an honor to have you here today to
Well,
open this
thank you for
event.
having me, and thanks for putting together this great lineup of speakers. I'm very excited to hear from so many of the different creators who are also entrepreneurs and use live
Mm.
streaming for their business. It's an exciting conference. So thanks for inviting me to be a part of it again.
Yeah, thank you for always supporting our event by both as a speaker and also as a sponsor, right? And then I would like to thank Ecamm Network also, Gentry, Fawkes, and Shawn Doc Boyd, also Jodi Krangle from voiceovers and forecast.com, Dr. Liz Isenring, you know her also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, from drliznutrition.com and Martin Lopez from the curiositytheory.com. So let's do this. Let's start it. And first, congratulations for your new book. It
Oh, thank you.
becomes it becomes a bestseller again, and I love the color better. Actually, you know, I'm a woman, so
You
color
like it
is
better than
very,
the first one?
yeah, yeah, that is too masculine or something. Well, you know, I am red or a bit orange, so I love this.
Yeah, this goes
And
better with your graphics, I think, for the
mm-mm.
event.
And my dress today, right? So this is a great time for us to talk about it also. Why do you make this book again? And then why there are more people on it? And then of course, why do you include me in it?
So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you for being a part of it and for
Mhm,
promoting it. I've been doing
mhm,
the predictions for 7 years now, and so
mhm,
they originally started out as a blog, and I've been doing the
mhm,
blog each year. And last year
mhm,
I had so much content because so many
mhm,
people, such as yourself, did their predictions live. Usually people just submit
mhm,
them in writing, but last year
mhm,
people submitted them live because they came on a show that I was doing, and we had all afternoon, and people spoke a lot, and we had great conversations, and
mhm,
so it all really translated to book length by the time I had transcribed and cleaned that up. And so that's how the first book came to be. And I thought, okay, the second book is mostly people giving their predictions and writing this one. So the chapters really belong to the people that are featured in the book.
mhm,
So I added 30 more creators. So even though it's called 100 predictions, we actually have 130 contributors. And so there's 30 people who are, industry insider types who share ideas and strategies. And within those, there are predictions, and within the predictions, there are ideas and strategies. But so that's kind of the extra that you're getting this year. And then I also expanded the resources in the back of the book. So if you want to know what's going on with live streaming, podcasting, online business, YouTube, we get into all that stuff, e-commerce, e-learning, everything that's sort of touching the online space. Some people talked about the metaverse and talk about, Web 3.0 and or just Web 3, as the cool kids say. And so we get into a lot of different things related to online content, online business, and the industry itself of content creation. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, you're going to find a lot of chapters that are going to relate to you and what you're trying to do, and you'll pick up some insights from those, I think.
Yeah, and I believe that we needed this year, especially after the pandemic for the last 2 years, and now the world start to open, and maybe there are not many speakers anymore online, but I don't think so because the more the world open, we need the more live now because we get used with it, right? This is like the new habit for the world to live stream our brand, our programs, and everything, our business especially, right?
Well, that's a big part of why I did the book as well. It's not just that I had the content, it was that before 2020, really nobody who wasn't who people who weren't interested in this weren't going live and weren't using digital media tools. And then the pandemic and the lockdowns came, and so everybody has to communicate through live video, through live audio, and using these different platforms. And so now what was kind of related to people who did this as enthusiasts or as professionals, now it's really opened the door that this content would be useful to almost everybody who's in business of any kind, because this is how we do business now.
Wow, it sounds great. Then why
Yeah.
do you put me in it then?
Oh, because you've been an event organizer. You were already a live streamer and doing online coaching and online business. And you gave a prediction the first time at that party where we had a conversation, like I did with so many of the contributors. And then since then, you've hosted 5 or 6 events, and you've really been very active in the live streaming community, providing a platform for speakers and sponsors to get together for events like this and talk about live streaming and online business. So yeah, that's part of why you were chosen. And also, I think you have a lot of experience before you started live streaming, so you don't just bring live streaming and online business, but you have a foundation in offline business and coaching and different things that make your insights and your perspective interesting.
Don't you know it makes me more famous, and I'm very proud to be among the other experts in live streaming, podcasting. Can you imagine that the YouTubers and it means that I feel that this is like the start for me that I give values to people and they start to to recognize my programs also, and that is very important for me because that live streaming is a part of my personal branding, and I built my personal branding for live streaming, right?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
from live streaming, through live streaming, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest advantages of live streaming, I think, is that you get to share your personal brand with people who either only know you through text or picture posts or social media in general, and also people who've never encountered you before. They get a sense of what your personality's like, what you know, what it might be like to work with you. There's all those kind of advantages of live streaming that go beyond the size of your audience, or, you know, if you're monetizing directly, but that just go into brand building and making people aware of who you are and what you're capable of offering.
I agree with that also because actually it seems easy to build our personal branding for our business through live streaming. But if we don't do it now, then there won't be any time left for us because we will be left behind in our business. Now, I think that the business or the people should, what is it? Should cats or create their own needs, create their own market. They cannot wait just the market come to them or the customers come to them if they don't make the efforts for that. What do you think about it, Ross?
Yeah, I think you it's a great way to bring people into you, right? To get them to know you. And then you have to have a strategy beyond that. Unless you're monetizing through
Mm-hmm.
selling advertising on your show, you know, you have a large enough audience, you're have an influence in a particular niche. You want to then have that relationship that you're building with the viewer continue somewhere else. So perhaps you want them to join your email list. Perhaps you have a course or some other type of paid offering that they can become a part of, if you're using it for business. So, and it could just be a matter of you're using live streaming to answer questions that people have about their industry. You may be showing off how you use a certain product or service. You may not exactly be doing content related to your products. You could be doing interviews with experts or
Mm.
people in the industry who bring a different perspective. And all that's helpful content. And then people become aware of you. And when they do need your product or service down the line, they're going to think about you because they already feel like they know you from watching you on live video. So ideally, that's kind of how it works in terms of how you connect the business. One, we can sell products
Mm-hmm.
directly. Two is we build relationships, we provide value, and eventually, if people need our product or service, they know where to go to find us. And then the third thing that I think is really important for business people to do is repurpose your live streams, because
Mm.
the reality is the social platforms aren't really sharing your content far and wide. If you're just posting your live stream, you're just live streaming and then you just let it sit there. Yes, on platforms like YouTube, it can take off in the future, but it's got a very short shelf life on platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook. So by repurposing that content, you can take a 30-second clip and put it on Instagram. You can take a 1 to 2 minute clip and put it on LinkedIn. And now you have it cycling back through the feed. So people who may
Mm-hmm.
never take the time to leave those platforms to go watch a live stream, or just may get that live notification if they get it and not jump off and go watch your live stream, still become very aware of what you're doing and even get to enjoy a 30-second clip or a minute of it and feel like, yeah, I know what this person's doing. I know what they're about. I know what their business is.
True.
So you may end up getting more views on a reel that you do on Instagram, or you make a square video for Instagram. You may end up getting more views on that than you get live or replay. And that's okay. It doesn't really matter where people go to learn about you or how they learn about you, as long as they do learn about you and they like what they see. And then the other thing is you can embed the best of the best clip, the best couple of minutes of video from a live stream into your website. And then that can be there for anybody who goes to your website who's interested in what you do or your product, your service, and they may play that video. They're not going to watch a long video, but a quick clip that shows something that is of interest to a potential customer. That could be a huge win for you. That could be the difference between, it being text on the page and you kind of coming to life for the person who's there to potentially do business with you.
Oh, that is sound very promising in the future. Yeah, I know that there are live streamers here, especially on the marketplace here, but it sounds like you are in the traditional market here, because the culture is different. So they are yelling, "Who buy this dress? Who buy this shoe?" Something like that. And okay, you get it, and you don't get it, or something like that. And I don't think that is my type of live streaming, even though we can sell directly online, because it is like in the real market here on the traditional market. If you
Mhm.
have been here, or if you are coming here one day, and then you will know it exactly what I mean. Like this is like streaming like this, but then
Right.
for example, I have my bag. Oh, who will buy this bag or something like that? Also, so I don't think that is my kind of selling. Even though now in the Western world, it is very famous that people start to sell online or with live streaming, right? Because there are a
Yeah.
lot in the market here, but then like you are going to the traditional market, but you don't need to feel the wet floor after the rain or the mud or the traffic jam. Only that is the difference. For the selling way, it is not different for the people here, for
Mhm.
the locals. That is very funny to see sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the whole world eventually,
Hmm.
live stream selling is going to be, why go to the store and stand in line and wait for somebody to help you when you can just
Hmm.
go to a live stream either on these big platforms like Amazon Live and Walmart and things like that, or on even the small shop owner may have a live stream once or twice a day where they talk about what's on sale or what their new
Hmm.
product
Hmm.
is, their new, clothing for the season or whatever it is. And
Hmm.
another one where maybe they demonstrate, if they're selling toys, they demonstrate how parents can put it together, whatever it is. I do think that that's going to be a huge part of live streaming. And when I came up with the concept of three paths to revenue with live streaming, this was probably back in 2017 or 2016.
Hmm.
I said that directly selling products and services was going to be a part of it, but right now it's not what most people are doing. Now it is a big part of it, and I think it's going to become more and more where going live isn't just about we build a relationship that maybe one day you'll buy my product, or I'm going to do something and then I'm going to repurpose it or use it on my website to show what I can do. You're going to be selling. I mean, there's a good chance, maybe not you,
Hmm.
but many people are going to be selling. And I think a lot of businesses are going to start doing what Amazon does, which is giving creators, maybe not, everyone, because I don't even think Amazon gives it. You have to get in their influencer program and so forth. But they're going to start giving people who are capable of going on and talking about the products and have an audience. Why wouldn't these platforms want to give you or me the opportunity without paying us ahead of time to go on and be
Oh.
another salesperson pitching their product? And then if we make a sale, they give us a commission. But I think it's going to get more competitive. I think commissions will rise probably for online sales that come through live streaming. And I think it's, if you want to sit there and say, like, what do I need to learn in the next year or two? Learn how to sell on video, because that's
Hmm.
the reality is that's where this is going. And that's, maybe you're doing a show and you don't have a big audience for that. Maybe you have trouble finding the time to go live and book a guest and do all those things every week. But you can hop on, an Amazon Live for a half an hour and talk about your favorite products that are on Amazon. It doesn't even have to be products related to your business. It can be products that you use in your
Oh,
home
okay.
and all those kind of things. And then you can take those videos, if you're in the Amazon influencer program and have the right to live stream, and you can
Hmm.
upload those videos. You can upload like a 2 minute where you're talking about a product, or 30 seconds, and you can upload that. And if Amazon approves it, it then puts it on that product page. So if somebody watches that video on the product page and then buys the product, you get commission for that. So Amazon Live I got on it early, and I haven't really taken advantage of it, to be honest. But I've watched how it's grown, and I've watched the opportunity that's there for a lot of creators who may not have, the easiest time finding audiences on other platforms that frankly aren't all that motivated to share the solo creator, the small business owner all over their platform. But Amazon Live, if you're talking about products that they're selling on their platform, why wouldn't they want to make your video available to customers who are trying to decide on what to buy or if to buy something?
I agree. So there are no more excuses whether you are an introvert or shy or being scared in front of camera. You have to be there if you want to sell something, right? Is that what you mean?
Well, the other thing is if you have Amazon Live, you can do the recorded video part without actually going live or putting your face on camera. You can just talk about a product and, put the product on camera.
Okay.
And let that be the star of the show. And you don't even have to put your face on camera if you don't want to.
Oh, it sounds great. And then for this year, what is the best prediction for us, the live streamers, that is going to happen? From all of
Wow.
your experts you have on the book. I believe that you have already read your own book, right? The whole pages.
I mean, there's
So,
so many good ones. I will say for me, what I took away from the book is that and there are every avenue that you could think of for creating digital content and digital media and online business is in there. For me, where am I weakest? I haven't paid a lot of attention to things like the metaverse and augmented reality and virtual reality and Web3, cryptocurrency. So for me, those are some of the areas that people talk about, and there's some really good chapters that are nice introductions to that and get you kind of in the mindset of, I mean, Mitch Jackson comes to mind, who's an attorney, and he's really been using those type of metaverse tools to really take his law firm into the virtual space. And so that's something to think about. I have not spent enough time with it to know whether I would advise it for people to do for their business, but that's something that I took away from the book. Another great prediction in the book that I think is very relevant is Louise McDonald talked about
yeah.
using the short form videos, those short vertical videos, to really get comfortable sort of editing and work on your skill set, and then take what you learn over to doing longer form videos. And of course, Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts are all very popular right now, and they're another avenue for getting your message and your business and your personality out there. Excuse me, losing my voice a little bit. Out there in front of people.
And then for this year, what kind of platform that business owners or entrepreneurs are going to have or to do or to be, or it is a must to be there on which kind of platform that we need?
I think it's where you have an audience. I mean, I
Oh,
think there's no more that when you look at the major social platforms, it's no more that like this is the one to do or that's the one to do. Go where you have an audience and where that platform is feeding your content to that audience. If you have a big following on a platform, but that platform is no longer putting your content in front of the audience, that isn't that valuable anymore. So I'm going to be talking in a few weeks at Podfest about alternative platforms to social media, that you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in the social media basket. And so, email is obviously a huge one. And I say this as somebody who didn't do very much email most of the time that I've been online. And I'm just in the last year started to do more. I'm not doing enough. I'm not consistent enough with it, but I'm doing more with email. And I think you look at the open rates on email versus who's getting notified and who's, taking an action based on you doing something on social media. You might think that distributing through email is valuable. You also then get people's email addresses so you have a way to communicate with them if one of these platforms goes offline or shuts down your account or decides, hey, I'm not giving you any more organic reach. So I think email is really valuable. And then there are different ways to um, think about providing access, providing education, providing different types of knowledge products to people if that's your area, um, through e-learning platforms, memberships, exclusive content. Doesn't have to be exclusive content about learning, could be entertainment content. Um, but perhaps you do something on the social free platforms, and then maybe you have some bonus content for subscribers or people, pay-per-view. I think you have to think creatively. It's not about being internet famous, which, even if it's possible, isn't necessarily a destination for business. It's about how can, I provide something extra to the people who are most interested in what I do, most
Mhm.
interested to learn from it, most interested to interact with me. And then that's something you can do at a premium level and go above and beyond what you do on the major social platforms with live streaming or posts or podcasts and so forth.
Yeah, so what can I say then, for you, the entrepreneurs, business owners, or even whether you are a coach or also consultant, you really need to do the live streaming to build your brand, right? And thank you so much. Actually, yeah, because we are late today, so I hope that you are staying still because Joey is already here. Then I think it's better to do the discussion today, right? Than only to because she has been on your show also. I think last week or this week, yes.
Yes.
For the book prediction also, right? Here is our artist, our Hollywood
Hi, how are
influencer. Joey,
you?
how are you? How are
Good, thank you for
you?
having me. So appreciate
Thank you
you.
for being
And I
here.
just I was like,
Oh.
hello.
Thank you. And Joey's got a great new book out too, Being Your Own
Mhm,
Superstar.
I do. I have it dropped what, like a couple months, well, 6 weeks ago. So
There it is.
there it is.
Wow. Yeah, I already read a half of it and I'm going to finish it soon.
Good, I'm glad. Thank you so much. So I was
So how
enjoying
is
your guys' conversation.
yeah. Thank you so much. And then what is your plan after having the book? The same question goes for Ross actually.
What's my plan since the book's done?
After having this book, yes, because it is a very interesting book. I don't know if love can bring us that far, because
Well, I have I'm I'll have a third book dropping, but it'll be part of a series around how being your own
Mhm,
superstar for couples, being your own superstar for business owners, and how to grow
mhm,
your love capacity for business and within your
mhm,
relationships. But currently as well, I have Being Your Own Superstar live stream show that I just launched, and that's turned into a podcast as well. And I'm just launching the
mhm.
Joey G113 Media Network.
Wow.
So I'll be
Wow.
able to spotlight talent and
Mm-mm,
going back
mm-mm.
to what Ross was saying earlier, to cross pollinate products and services in my shop, right? And then we all leverage
Mhm.
each other. Hmm.
And then, because of it, Joy, what is your biggest goal this year?
My biggest
Because
goal this
yeah, you launched your book earlier this year, I guess.
yeah.
So it is the right time for us also to what is it, to be recognized from our book, right? And I'm going to do this also this year, but by the end of this year. But actually, I will make it easier. This is it will be like from our interviews for our conversations here that I'm going to put in the book, because
That's
there are so
clever.
many values that you can share there, right?
Yeah, that's very clever. I love that. I love repurposing content. I love cross-pollinating, and I have a signature strategy called the banana split. And what you're doing is you're banana splitting, because you're spotlighting several people and cross-pollinating it, and it's very delicious.
Did you make up that term?
I did.
Okay, because we were talking years ago, and you brought up that term, and I kind of nodded like it was an industry term that, oh, everybody's got to know what the banana split is. And now you finally tell me that this is your thing, and of course I never heard it used that way, but it makes sense from the metaphor. But it's great.
Yeah, it was published in the Huffington Post, right? Because I came out with this whole strategy based on movie credits, right? It's like, I told someone today, I said, it's impossible to build an empire and real influence by yourself, right? And so what you're doing is you're banana splitting, sister, right? By spotlighting others, the spotlight is going to get real bright and spotlight you. That's exactly what Ross has done with the book, right? He's spotlighting all these people, and the spotlight's it's also bright on Ross.
Yeah.
I'm speechless, because this is how actually we do this to help other people, not for ourselves, right? By helping other people, we help ourselves. And
Yes.
also, why did you start from love? It is not Valentine, and it sounds romantic, and not everyone have that kind of romantic love or a couple love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this was downloaded to me 3 years ago, the real reason I worked in Hollywood. When I was observing superstars, it's that they can take in mass amounts of love. So adoration and money and business opportunities and bigger stages and bigger shows and brands coming, it's just love, right? And so the whole book is, I teach a daily habit system and how people can grow their love capacity so that they can get more of what they want.
So it starts from love that we will gain or reach higher and higher. Actually, I do that based on love that I'm sending the love energy for my clients, for my my boyfriend, something like that, Joey. So yeah, I feel that when you share it with love, when you work, you don't feel hard, right? Totally different with when you are exhausted, and then you can recharge your energy with love. At least like with the word love, it's like also a healing word for me. I don't know. Is that true?
No, listen, everyone has a different definition what love really is, but my book isn't about romantic love. It's about how much of acceptance of love that you can take in, because again, money and adoration and business opportunities are just love in a different form, right? And so when people say to me, how did that person get so famous? I'm like, they have love capacity Grand Canyon level. Okay, where they can be on endless interviews and screaming fans and people giving them things, and everywhere they go, it's just like, I love you, love you, love you. Here, do you want this? Oh my God, will you sign my autograph? Will you take a picture with me? This is just adoration. It's just love, and they can just accept it. And so this is where I'm cross-pollinating it out there with the masses. When people say I'm not getting what I want, I'm like, this has to do with the level of love capacity that you're at right now. And here's the beautiful thing, sister and brother. It doesn't take a special gift or talent to grow your capacity. It just takes, well, I have the level 1 daily habit system in my book, right? And so it just takes a matter of just practicing that, because I've been practicing it for a little over 3 years, and my entire personal and professional life had changed in the best of ways.
Guys, I'm going to jump off and let Joey take over the entire spotlight and get all the love from you and from the audience. So great to see you, Joey. And Sonia,
thank you so much, Ross, again for being here as a sponsor and as a speaker. And I hope that you can do that again next time. And I'm planning it in September, actually, for the next Online World Summit, because we have already one sponsor in September, believe me.
Wow.
So I have to do that.
Congratulations on a great event.
Thanks,
Have
Ross.
a good night.
So Okay, Joey, then now you're here. Thank you so much again for being here, and I feel honored that you always support my event. You know
Oh,
that
yeah.
there are a lot of challenges in developing country like this to go live streaming, right? It is a matter like the bandwidth or the internet, the crowded environment. Even though you are on the Skype room, it is like on the co-working space. And you know that I'm a digital nomad, so I move from one place to another place. So this is a great chance for me to go international and to be the international speaker, right?
Nice, nice. I love that. Yeah, no, it's
And
my pleasure.
oh, thank you so much. And then after the book, do you have any program to share with us today that the people can join? Because you know that there is always the next step, right, in our business life.
Yeah, so I have a group. It's the Love
Mm-hmm.
Capacity Daily Habits group. That started before the group dropped, before the book dropped. I had
Mm-hmm.
people approach me that had heard about the concept. They've been watching me, they know me, and they asked, "Hey, how can I learn more about this?" And so I launched a group and have that. I also still focus on. I have my other division is around visibility, and influence around branding, marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and social media. So I also do one-on-ones there, and I'm going to be launching a mastermind in that here within the next couple weeks. So I have the two divisions. I have the outer game division because the visibility influence is directly linked to your earning power, and then I have the inner game division because we know in order to sustain a thriving business, you have to have a very large inner game.
Wow. And then would you like to share your group in the comments later under our live streaming when we are done
Absolutely.
with this live
Yeah,
streaming so that the
absolutely.
people who need you can reach you out easily? I know how busy you are, but I believe that you will have more time for our community
Oh,
to
yeah.
build our community in the group, right?
Oh, absolutely. I love this community. Absolutely. Right. We're all here to be of service,
Mm-hmm.
just like you said. So it's my pleasure to be of service and really help other people. I have people say to me things like, I'm not getting what I want. My business is hitting a glass ceiling, things like that. And I'm like, again, there is an easier maneuver than most people think, and really just has to do with growing your love capacity in order to accept breaking through the glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And then what does it need to be on the next level for that?
It's exciting. You know, it's really exciting. Like there's pretty much every week I'm being interviewed
Mhm.
pretty much every other day, sometimes twice a day, right? It's exciting. It's exciting to get past the glass ceiling. It's exciting. All
Mhm.
amazing people like yourself, right? You run, all of a sudden there's all these
Woo!
opportunities, right? And I got signed by a podcast
Mhm.
agency out of LA, and
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
launching my media network. And yeah, I say here's the thing, I want everyone globally to do this, right? Because there's no reason to be disappointed, right? Because disappointment is just taking a capacity. That's all it's
Oh, okay.
doing.
Because I think, yeah, disappointment, feeling disappointed is really draining my energy also. But we cannot help it sometimes, right? Only how to find the what is it, the solution if you are disappointed to something or to someone. Because you will have it a lot if you have high expectation, right? Especially in business. Then if you don't reach your target, then it will influence your daily activities, also your daily energy, I think.
Oh, absolutely. So disappointment, anger,
Mhm,
frustration, lack,
mhm,
right? Sadness. All of this takes up all this capacity. This is what I talk about in the book, why people are like, why are they in a stop and go situation? And I'm like,
mhm,
because your capacity can only allow so much acceptance to come in until it starts crashing and burning, right? So the bigger you can grow your capacity, the more you can accept, the faster you're going to get what you want, right? And the more you're going to be able to be of service and share your gifts and talents with the world. There was
mhm,
years I was in the shadow. I didn't have the capacity to be able to accept love. And love, again, is just comes in different forms. People on social media are like, post about me or talk about me or beautiful book reviews or, have me on their shows, right? That's just love. That's all it is. It's just a matter of being able to accept it. And as you grow your capacity, it will come faster and faster and faster and faster. That's why it's really important that you continue to grow your capacity.
And may I ask you something? Maybe it is a bit personal, Joy, if I may ask you. How did you find it? How did you start it? Because you had a very, very lovely family, and then you went to a nice school also, like, the Have School in Hollywood. So,
How I had some personal events happen. My brother passed
mhm,
away, right?
mhm,
I had a couple of friends pass away. I was very blue, right? I was very
mhm,
disappointed. And
mhm,
so I asked that question at my friend's life celebration, what's life all about? And like a beautiful like light of love came over me and it showed me, it connected all these memories of why I really worked in
mhm.
Hollywood. A memory of
Oh,
watching stars walk down in a premiere on the red carpet, right? Or a star, playing the piano beautifully in the Four Seasons, and the piano was just a prop. He was, was in, you're not really, he didn't ask permission, but he was sharing his gifts. But all these
mhm,
memories started connecting the dots, and this is how I had the ultimate aha moment. I really believed for years, sister, that the reason I
mhm,
wasn't all my dreams and for desires weren't coming to fruition was because of disappointment and regret. And that's one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin, which I believe is the truth today, is the real secret sauce. It's because I didn't have the capacity to hold those dreams and desires. And so as they would start moving, I wasn't able to hold them. So then disappointment and regret and sadness would start filling my capacity again. Right. And so I encourage everyone out there, as you identify your dreams and desires, rather than goal setting and list building and
mhm.
1, 2, 3, I have to do this, I have to do this. I tell people, I said, know your dream and desire and then push that to the side. And instead, grow your capacity to actually hold it.
Wow. So, from those challenges, how do you adapt yourself in the Hollywood? Because I heard Hollywood is so much. There are so many competition there, right?
Mhm.
Healthy and unhealthy ones, because the people would like to be famous in a very short time. Without doing nothing. Also.
Well, listen, Hollywood's a business and it's actually like
Mm,
any other business out there. And so everyone
mm,
has to work at it. There's no shortcuts in business in a big brand, right? Hollywood's just a brand, right? Um,
mhm,
However, I was very fortunate in Hollywood because I had a lot of mentors who really took me underneath the wing, and and I surrounded myself with people with big capacities and the love capacities, and they were very, very kind to me, right? But I also worked very hard for my sustainability there. However, what I also realized during all this, I was really meant there to learn lessons so that I could bring them to the masses, that anyone anywhere can be their own superstar in their life, right? It doesn't have to be People Magazine, it doesn't have to be Hollywood, right?
mhm,
However,
mhm.
what you got to do is you got to first get out of the shadows. That's my first book, The Red Carpet Guide to Visibility Influence. And then once you do that, you get on the red carpets of your own field and your own dreams and desires. Then you need to have an inner game that's going to sustain it.
So it should be planned. It should be, what is it? We need to nourish our career also before we harvest our results in Hollywood, right? Yeah. So it is the same way with the other industry to do it. It's not because they are artists, or because they are very commercial in Hollywood.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Hollywood or
Mm,
it's Coca-Cola or it doesn't matter, right?
mhm,
What all that matters is you identifying what you want, right? A dream or desire, and then identifying where your capacity to allow it, because again, that's just love, and then just growing your love capacity.
mhm,
Getting promoted. That's just love, right? And just in a different form. That's all it is. And this is what I'm explaining in my book. I'm saying that this concept is how superstars and leaders in their field, how they're actually rising to the top. It's because they can accept all this business and money and opportunities and adoration and stages and media and all that. And that's just different forms of love. That's all it is.
Wow. So again, a private question, but I'm very curious. Why do you choose Hollywood as your career?
I actually had an influencer in the Bay Area whose family was Hollywood, integrated in Hollywood, and he got me my first job down there. But now looking back and connecting the dots, I think it had much to do with my dad, because every Sunday, I grew up in a very blue collar worker family, right? So every Sunday, my dad, that was really the only time he had to spend with me and my brother. And so instead of going to church, we would go to the movies. And so,
I can relate that. I can relate that really.
So I was developing a love affair with the movies very, very young. That's why I think my love capacity was that muscle was so strong already, because I was connecting unconsciously, but internally that was family time. That was time I got to spend with my dad. I got to eat popcorn and have soda and candy, and movies were impacted and made a huge impact on my life, right? Because I was going every Sunday. And so going to Hollywood, I'd never had the intention of being in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be a social worker. That's really what I wanted to be. I wanted to help families and young children and things like that. And this influencer, he said, you remind me a lot of someone that could do very well there. And so he got me my job, and then I was there for 20 plus years.
I don't think someone or anyone would like to have a public service here, because from the image, it has no money in it, it doesn't make money. Joey, it's been a pleasure talking to you actually, and Suan is already here, but today, like what we discussed before, so it's better to have the discussion than to have the interview one by one, right? But before going to continue, for Suan, she's a writer, that she's a content creator also. So
love you, Joey.
Love you too, Sue. I love you. I totally. Sue's awesome. Sue,
I just quoted you. I'm working on an article, and I'll be watching you on an event in a few days with your other friends. I'm excited.
Yeah. I love you. 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 I love you all.
Love you all also. What I mean is like how blessed I am to be surrounded with a woman like you, who lift me up, who support me on my events, and I never say no when I invite you again and again. You know what I mean? But first, let me,
Joey's love bucket is flowing.
Thank you, Sue. So I'm going to give Sue the spotlight. Thank you, Sue. I love you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Take
so
care,
much.
Joey.
Sure.
Hello, Sonia.
How are you? It's been a very great morning here to see you. You look beautiful today, and I love your shirt color.
I thought it might go with your set.
Oh, thank you so much. And then, but before continuing this, let me turn our sponsored video, or they will not sponsor me next time. No, I'm just kidding. I know them well, and they support me in my business. And let me turn the video for a while. Only 2 minutes. Will it be okay, Suan? Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Wait, how'd you get your video like that?
Right, you got us over here looking like a hot mess.
No, it's actually a powerful live streaming app for Mac called Ecamm Live. You can add some overlays to your video, whether it's a simple graphic or you want to have some titles or other info at the bottom of your screen. You can even add animated overlays like this one or this one. And you can add branded overlays to frame you and your guests and look like a real legit broadcast. And you can save each layout as a scene and switch between them with the press of a button.
Every day, you face a great deal of uncertainty. Every day, you face a great deal of uncertainty. But one thing remains the same. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we include Disney Plus with your unlimited plan. And plans start at just $35 per line.
How about that?
Your body benefits from movement, but your mind benefits from stillness. Practice uniting the two with a free trial at glow.com. Discover new flavors, explore new places, while sharing unique moments with those you love most. Enhance your experience wherever you are with San Pellegrino, a new kind of nutrition for a new kind of active. Vega, helping you to be better every day. Our communities are stronger when we join together. We can serve all of our neighbors experiencing hunger by just one act of kindness at a time. Find a local food bank near you at feedingamerica.org. They say laughter is the best medicine.
Can't go to school ever again.
Of course, actual medicine is the best medicine.
Wow.
I love Jodi's voice.
Wow, that's why, and you know, she's creating the voiceover for me also for this event, but I couldn't play it because of the bandwidth today. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. But at least our viewers will understand that Jodi is here and also sponsor us, right? Even though she cannot be the speaker this time, also because she's better behind the stage or behind the scene. I see. Because she's
Well,
into
she
the
has.
her
I tell
voice,
Ross
yes.
all the time. She has an
Mhm.
enviable voice. I love her voice. I
So much,
love
so
it.
much. And compared with the other voiceovers, I think she has a very calm voice, very strong, but assuring people. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to call it. I love her voice so much. That's why I asked her also to be like the voiceover for my podcast event.
You're lucky. She's
I
great.
am because I have you also here. You see, you always support my event, and then how are you doing? Because you are very busy, and you mentioned about the new projects that you are
Well, I'm
going to
doing
launch.
great.
Would
I'm
you like
doing
to
really
tell
good.
about that?
Well, first, I'm still doing the blog bling because you have to know how to bling your blog and feed that hog. So I can throw up the AppSumo deal link for people if they're interested. It's going great. It's giving me a chance to hone my presentation skills a little bit and to learn about how to do things, more interactively with my students, which is really fun. And I'm working on a new project with a client, which is for an email newsletter. And he's a photographer. It's photomentoracademy.com. And I'm working on a newsletter for him called Shutter Shots. And it's bringing artistic insights to photographers. So I love that I'm stretching what I'm researching and learning and doing in terms of helping him grow his audience, which is always, look, I love growing other people's audience. I worry and take more time and effort in doing that than working sometimes on my
On
own
your
projects.
own, yes, I understand that. It can happen, for the content creator also.
Yes, and it was so fun being featured again as you were in Ross's new book. I hope everybody
Oh, thank
grabs
you
a
so
copy
much. Yes,
because it's such an awesome collection of minds and ideas to share with the world about the digital space and growing as a business in a digital space. So we got to do that recently, which is super fun.
And I would like to talk about it in detail, Sue, and today. And this is like for the new entrepreneurs or the new business owners when they started their business. They think that it is automatically that they can get the needs, the market, that they become famous without building their needs or their market. What do you think about it? What should we do first when we are the new entrepreneur or the new business owner to
I
build
think that
our blog or our live streaming, something like that?
well, no matter which platform that you're trying to gain recognition or attention and trying to enter into the market. I think you have to do a little bit of homework. And I think some people forget about that. They just kind of jump in and they forget that they need to think about what their business will be about. How might they make their money? Who might they do this business for? Do they have a target audience? Is there a market for what they're offering? And then importantly, part of what I do is trying to help people speak the language that lets them connect with people and build those relationships that turn into business. And, you know, that's not something that's done overnight. And I think a lot of people want that instant success. And I think that's a fallacy. Like Joey pointed out, it's a long, rich history that brings you to the point where you start. And also, I think it's about falling into understanding and feeling and growing in your own skin, because you have to have a certain amount of confidence in yourself and what you know and what you can provide and how you can help people in order to bring that out and bring that forward. When I first started my first business, I was so scared about being in business. I didn't even tell anyone I was a business owner, which of course is the silliest thing, because you're going to grow your business by getting the word out there. But I was so panicked. What if I close? What if I don't make it? That I didn't even tell anyone. I was like, you know, but now, and especially in the digitally connected time that we're in, it's so important to try to get your genuine abilities to help people out there and help them understand how you can help them. And then, you know, things start to fall in place. But I think that people make the mistake of not giving it some thought ahead of time. They just go out and start it without thinking it through a little bit.
And Suan, how did you start it? Because in our previous live streaming, you mentioned that about how to start a blog, how to start to write content, even though I'm not a good writer actually, but yeah, I had my anthology books here on the bookstores, and that's why I would like to go international with the English book, because for me it is easier to write the English book than in my own language, right? So how did you start to write at that time, or is this it? Was it already your hobby, or you believe that you have that kind of talent or skill in writing before?
Well, I operated a physical business for decades, and I started to have sore feet because it was very physical. And I thought
What
maybe,
do you
and
mean
actually,
with it?
my writing actually started by accident. If you're really asking,
Okay.
I got a gift of an iPad from my lovely husband, and I was like shocked because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to work it. I thought it was too expensive and we should take it back, especially since I didn't know how to work it. And I actually started playing a game, which I never. I'm not a gamer. I don't play games. I'm too busy reading, writing, and studying. Even when I was in business, I was the same way, or working on jobs. But I started playing this game and I met people. And one of the people I met, I started writing like daily rhymes in the game, and it kind of made people like, you know, attract to me. And so I had a whole fun community of friends writing my, you know, couple lines of rhyme every day, making it kind of funny and whatever. And I ended up meeting a woman who was a writer. And she's like, I wrote a children's book. I love writing. I'm like, you know what? I've loved writing since I was a kid. And when I'm slow in my physical business, I've been wanting to do something on the side. Everybody else in my company, when they're not busy in the company, had side things they did. And so I just started studying actually copywriting at first, and then moved into all of it, web writing and script writing and learning management software and learning instructional design, I guess you would call it. I work in all kinds of different things. I do ghost writing. And this newsletter project I have going on with Lee Love and Photo Mentor Academy is super fun, because again, I get to stretch myself because it's unique content, but it's building off of the cool, neat, creative stuff I've been learning about photography with working with him for the past year or so. So it all kind of look, everything digital in my view, and I don't know if this is a skewed view, but in my view, it is based on quality writing. It's, about how you put your thoughts in order to do a script or a podcast or a digital show, a YouTube show, or write content. And Neville Medora is a copywriter that I admire. And he's talking lately about how to create a slippery slope. I forget what he calls it. But what he's trying to say is pick your top 3 things. So maybe it's a blog post that you can turn into a podcast that you can turn into social media, and that cascading use of that piece of content becomes more valuable, and you're concentrating your efforts as you start your digital business, ongoing into your business, a digital business. Then you have like a set framework to build from. And that's really helpful. And it can be based on any order of things. Maybe you're not a writer, so maybe your first content wouldn't be a blog. Maybe it's a video that you could then create your social from, and you could turn into a podcast. It's whatever. Like, you have to look at 2 things. What do you need as a business, or your audience need? So it's about your business and your audience making a connection. And then it's about what you bring forward in a genuine way to connect with that business and audience. And you have to consider, what are you good at? If you stink at writing, you might want to start with video or doing a podcast where you are essentially writing your thoughts, but you're doing it maybe verbally.
Wow. And then about the quality content you mentioned, what are the aspects of it?
Well, this is the thing, because
That you can call it quality content, what I mean. Maybe it must sell, or maybe it must have a lot of readers or viewers, something like that, Juan.
Okay, so maybe what you're trying to talk about is the distinction between copywriting content and just content writing. So in copywriting, you have a little bit different spin that you put to it. You want to actually you have to think more particularly, for example, about each word that you write. Each word has more meaning, because you're trying, you're not just having that conversational blog written content, but you're trying to be more persuasive. And look, web copy, here's where it applies. It works. Your copywriting applies to website copy, and it applies certainly to how you will stand out. So it's important that you get, that writing in place, starting with your communications as a business, your core messaging. And so you want your core messaging to persuade people then to interact with you. And so I think you'll find copy in key website pages, like your about page, your services page, your home page certainly has a lot of key aspects that you might want to look to copywriting as opposed to just web or content copy or content writing. And then you want to have it also, it'll be important when you do email newsletters and any sales communications or landing pages. It'll also be important when you do social media promotion, because social actually has an element of copywriting as well, depending on the point of your campaign that you're trying to bring forth. So again, the distinction, I guess, is more the persuasive tone that you would bring to copywriting. And you have to, of course, take a deep dive to do it well, to understand not only your target audience, but your own product or service. This is where people screw up too. They're reaching out to everybody instead of understanding they have a specific client that they need to reach, and they don't understand their own product or service, so they can't talk about it succinctly, concisely, directly, in a way that will reach people, because they're squirming around on what do I do and how do I do it. So you need to get clear on that, and then you have to have some awareness of your industry at large and your competitors. I'm not big on, I know you should be aware of your competitors, and when you're certainly starting a business and looking for a target market and an audience, you're going to look at how competitive the landscape is. Is there room for you in that market? But I say, as a general rule, that's where you stop worrying about the competition. You put your head down and you be yourself. You bring that genuine you to the table and concentrate on what you're trying to do, rather than being distracted by your competitors. And what I found that while I'm not paying attention to my competitors, I automatically, almost accidentally, create my unique value proposition in how I go about things in my own way. So, some people get really hung up on that competitor analysis, but if you're creating your own voice, your own market, and creating finding that clientele that'll be attracted to you, that genuine you is going to do a lot for that communication. And there was one more thing. Oh, and again, core messaging, that brand story that you want to convey. Those are key to your copywriting. So to simplify, here it is. Copy generally focuses on a specific result and has a persuasive or often a sales component to it, while content marketing or general content writing and content assets are about information, education, awareness, and connection, and even what I call edutainment, because of course some people gain that following because they have some entertainment mixed in with their valuable content. So those, I think, are kind of taking it down deeper. And then you want to definitely be speaking directly to an ideal customer. And you have to do that in their language so that they understand that you're talking to them and they start to crave what you have to offer. You want to create somebody's craving you. You want them to crave what you have to offer. So they'll notice you and they'll want your products and services. If it's done well, the persuasion and sales elements, though, Sonia, they go unnoticed. They're really just so smooth that it doesn't feel or seem salesy or persuasive at all. It seems honest and genuine. And when you clearly understand your brand and your market and your message, it makes it easier to bring that kind of a voice forward. And so you don't have to feel icky, right? You don't have to think of copy and sales or persuasive copy as icky. And that's definitely something you don't want to do. And so then, again, it's about making people understand why they need and even want to work with you and buy from you. You want them to feel like they need you. They want you. They already feel like they want you before they might think of a product that they might need or a way to work with you. You're already kind of top of mind just because they already have that trust and you've built that credibility.
Wow, Shivan, it is like $1 million value masterclass that you give today. So thank you so much. But again, I have so many questions because from on the previous interview or on the previous live streaming, you present the slide, right? That's why this is my chance to ask you as much or as many as
I
possible.
love that.
Questions.
I'm always more nervous than just presenting something. Because what if I don't know what to say? But I'll try to keep up.
But I love this conversation. It getting deeper and more details, because most of us really need this now. Even because I'm very stuck at copywriting. But then one thing, how to make the good call to action that the people is going to buy, and because it is on the copywriting, right? People
Right.
or the writing guru mentioned that you have to give the call to action. So what kind of call to action that attract people?
What's most important in my mind when I'm working with trying to create a call to action is a couple things. First of all, you have to make it something people would really want and get value from. They're not going to just give you their name and email address for just any old thing, especially now as the consumer gets more and more educated and I guess probably in some ways used to the game in the digital space of trying to collect people's email address. But if you offer something that's really of value to your audience, something that they can really put, like I would say right now, the trend is actionable content. So you want things like checklists or templates or how-tos, or, give them a stack for how to put something together. Give them a template for how you do something, give them examples. Or the other thing is that you want to make sure that your call to action is related to what you're talking about in the post or the article or the page. So a lot of people have a call to action about a topic that's completely unrelated. It's their standard, call to action, but it's completely unrelated to what you're talking about in today's blog post. Say you're talking about social media and your call to action is about sales in a different way, sales in a different way than social sales. You know what I'm saying? If they don't match, I guess I'm having trouble spitting it out. But if they don't match the intent of the audience, and it's something that they'd be like, oh yeah, I want that, I want more. It's, so sometimes a way to get the click is to make it an extension of what you've given them in the content that you're providing. So your blog post talks all about, here's 10 ways to do something. And here you can download 10 more if you want to get deeper into that. So you're leading them into something that fits the content that they've just ingested and they hopefully enjoyed, and then making them feel like, yeah, I need this, I want this. And then it's the important thing. Here's where other thing people miss, I think. So you get people to join that list, right? They sign up for that content that you deliver something really awesome. But where we all drop the ball, and I have in the past, I'm trying to get better at it, and I do it again better with my clients, is the beginning of a relationship doesn't stop at the sale. It starts at the sale.
It starts
because
at the
how
sale.
they come into your world and you welcome them and onboard them, they call it onboarding. Your onboarding or welcoming sequence, how you bring them into your community and make them feel part of it and get that relationship going once you make the sale is so important. And that's where you're going to get your real community and your brand evangelists, because they've tried it, they love it, and they keep that relationship going with you. There's where you make the win. So that lead magnet is kind of, that call to action is just in the middle of the process of building a customer and clientele of people who love you, will, promote you and talk about you, tell other people to use you, those kind of things. And those are going to build your business quicker than you can build your business speaking for yourself.
Because this is a part of our personal branding, right? What I mean is like, do we need to be different in every platform that we are going to launch our writing, whether that is the copywriting or a blog or maybe writing for podcasting, you know what I mean? Then should it be different, or we can just write one and post in everywhere on the LinkedIn, on our own website, on our own blog, and also Facebook, for example?
The problem
we need
is
to adapt with the platform.
The problem is that people get the message, be everywhere, right? Be seen everywhere, be everywhere. And that is great because you build your reputation on platforms you're not on. I know for a fact that people share my blog post in particular, since I'm a writer, they share my work on social channels I'm not even on. Right. So I'm getting exposed to new audiences and new traffic that I didn't really gain myself. I gained it because my community shared it out to their community, and their community sometimes even resides on another platform. So what I suggest, especially when you're just getting going, I suggest that you don't try to be everywhere. I suggest that you start with 3 maximum. Even if you start one at a time, you get on there, you push the buttons and figure things out. And then you try to think strategically how to create relationships with that. The thing about it is you could have the best content in the world, but if nobody sees it, it's like if the tree fell in the woods, did anyone care or hear it? So you have, in my opinion, and in my experience, when my writing and my work started to get noticed is when I decided to, take the dive and get into social media. And I started with one platform, Twitter, which is still my favorite. And the thing is, you try it to see what's going on. And of course you think social media, you're sharing your stuff, but that's not what happened for me. What I first discovered is how many people I could research and learn about and read and meet that were in my space. And that gave me a whole huge bunch of resources. And then I started sharing those resources. And when those people noticed me sharing those resources, they started interacting on social with you. And when you're present on social, meaning you respond to people and you have real conversations with real people, that's how you make connections that lead to business. And so you don't have to be everywhere. You have to be good where you are. And that's something that was recently brought up on something that Joey, I think Ross interviewed Joey and some other people about, is social media and organic traffic relevant today?
Yes.
And I say it absolutely is. It's just changing as everything is changing. But with that many people connected, most people in the US, I think the statistic is like 74% of people in the US are connected to not one, but two devices at all times. They are internet connected with two things at any given moment. That's where people are. That's why you're forced into social media if you want to get to your customers, because guess what? They're digitally connected, even if you're not. So you know, that's when you make the consideration to jump into social. But for me, as a writer trying to start a business in the digital space and having no customers in the digital space or no one who knew about me, social was the first chance that anyone saw my work. And it totally changed the ability for me to get business.
How long did it take until you realized that you have to change at that time? Because you didn't mention that you were a business owner when you started.
Yeah,
on
I
the
was
social
at first
media.
doing it on the side, and then I decided to, you know, just do it instead, because we decided to get out. Well, thank God, I was in actually catering. I was in a catering, professional catering. I can't even get it out. But we were into like events and design, event design and catering. So it was a huge undertaking. And thank goodness I got out and started being, you know, I was already doing the digital thing for several years when I got out of the catering altogether, that business. And thank God I did, because when COVID hit, I literally would have lost the home I'm sitting in right now had I not had this to fall back on.
I'm sorry.
Yes. I mean, it was, you know, because that industry in particularly got crushed. And so I'm thankful that, you know, at that point, I had a couple years, and in those couple years, I can't say that I made much, but it takes that long, in my opinion. You know, when people ask for you to do their social media, they want results next week. And I'll just tell you straight up, that's not how it works. It's like content marketing and social media marketing are slow, consistent, burning builders. They're also a touch point, and you have to have so many of those with people before they become aware of you. And it's not just about awareness, it's about awareness and then interest in you. So you have to take it beyond like, okay, you got their attention or they're aware of you, you've attracted them in. Now you have to pull them in tighter so they gain interest in you. And then, you know, they become part of the thing. Again, email is the trick. And again, I do that better for other people than I do for so many other people. So.
Yeah. And after you realize that you need to change the strategy, because there are so many people also, including me at first, that in the beginning I just write when the intuition come, when the ideas come. But actually in this kind of business, you mentioned that we need to plan our content, we need to plan our writing, right? So it cannot be just like me before, you know, when the ideas come, or when you know, the intuition come, oh, you have to write, then you have the idea, then you have to write right away. It cannot be that way in our business, right? We have to plan it.
I can tell you next time, maybe in the next World Coaching Universe event, maybe, I can give you some ideas about how to do that. And one of the ways I do it is I steal some ideas off of other people. Like Stephanie Liu is a great example. She advises that you have content buckets. So you have buckets where you put the content and it fits inside your strategy that way. And always when you're sharing your content, think in terms of three things. I'll leave this as the big message to go. You always want to show what you create, because it's about you and your business and what you're creating. But you also want to curate to share other people's content, which I know Joey is really big on, you know, helping other people with that step up and growing each other, show, you know, highlighting, spotlighting each other. And then, so that's curating content. And then third, and maybe perhaps most importantly, is you have to have conversations. So it's creations, it's curation, and it's communication or conversation. And that's where you actively participate in conversations with people that makes them know you, like you, trust you, and want to do business with you or invite you on live like you did.
Oh, thank you so much, and I'm overwhelmed with all of the information you have. Then I'm going to watch the replay of my own show. I sometimes do that, even though I don't like to see myself on the screen.
You are so sweet. You look great today. You're in
Oh,
the
thank you
screen
so
better. I
much.
think that's great. I've been working on that myself.
I'm on the escape room on the co-living and co-working here. There are many in Bali, but again, as the digital nomad, you have to check one by one which one is the good one. And of course, not all of the expensive co-working has the good internet speed. That's the problem also here. We are in a developing country where people consider internet is still very expensive, and to have the quiet place or the calm place is quite difficult here. That's why I always be happy when I have people like you who support other women to grow, who support other business to grow, are here on my event to make this event successful. Because no matter what the challenges are, I really would like to provide the platform for the people who need us and to
It
reach
makes
out
you more
easily.
special. It makes you someone who's overcoming constraints and having to be more creative in putting it out there. And so kudos to you for that. That makes you all the
Thank
more
you so much,
it
Yuan.
really
You make
does.
my head bigger now. I may not wear the helmet later on motorcycle. Then the helmet will not fit my head anymore, Yuan. Yuan
Well,
wants
you do
more.
considering especially those circumstances, you really try to,
Mhm.
and you're always so upbeat and, positive in what you share and talk about. And that's lovely.
Thank you so much. Yes, I have been very busy to maintain my offline business. Like here, the offline business is for the daily income, and then this is to open the local market after the pandemic. I thought that, okay, if I don't start it now, when can I start it? Because now the world start to open, and I would like to build my own market or my own customers here with my stuff. That's why I didn't quite live stream a lot last couple of months because of it. But I
Getting
really,
that
really
going.
appreciate that you are here to share with us today. And
Quite
how
well.
can our audience reach you out if they need you?
I can put a couple links in the
Mm-hmm.
comments because I
Yeah,
have the
after
how to
this,
bling your
yes.
blog and feed that hug, and that's interactive workshops
Please
with
do,
me.
please do.
And then I can give you like my Twitter handle or stuff like that because that's my favorite
Mhm.
social. But I'm around. I'm Right Mix for Business with a WRITE mixforbusiness.com. So
Mhm.
I'm also there. So
Mhm. Thank you so
thank
much,
you for having
Susan.
me.
Please share the link later in the comments. Thank you so much again for today, and I will see you on the next event. Because you already promised me that you are going to share the other value for us, and I'm very happy with it. It will be
Sure. I'll
content for
help
me
you get
to
that
this
in.
year.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night there. Have a
All
nice
right.
rest.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. That is for today, our first day on Online World Summit for live streamers. And this season, we are focusing on Business Accelerator because you know me also, I'm impatient if I have to start from zero again and again. So just like you, I would like to learn from our expert speakers also to make my business faster, how to get the results without. Actually, the shortcuts are here if we are going to really do it and work hard on it, right? Because yeah, we don't need to make that kind of experiments like the other experts. When we learn from them, they give their skills, their tricks, their tips to reach the results and to harvest as soon as possible. So it is a great way. Then I don't need to struggle for years to build my business because they give me already what they have been experiencing for years, and I'm very happy with them to share in our platform here on Online World Summit for live streamers in Business Accelerator. And tomorrow I'm going to meet you again with the other experts. And there will be more and more experts in our live streaming. And please, if you haven't registered, you can register for free here on wordsummit.anitasonya.com. And if you are going to upgrade or register into VIP, you are going to have the ebook from Rose brand that has been launched. So please do and share our live streaming with the people you love, with the people who need us, and then also with your community. And I thank you so much. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors, Livestream Universe from Rose Brand, Ecamm Network with Kathy Gentry, Fawkes, and then voiceovers and Fawkes from Jodi Krangle, my favorite voiceovers artist, and then drliznutrition.com from Dr. Liz Isenring. She also has been supporting my events since last year, and then of course again Martin Lopez from the Curiosity Theory that he's going to speak also in a couple of days. So again, once more, thank you very much for coming into our event. And if you are watching replay, please put the hashtag replay, and again please share our live streaming, and you can subscribe also in our YouTube. It will support us to grow our channel also. And before closing today, I would like to play the videos of our sponsor from Ecamm and also Jodi Krangle. Again, thank you very much for today. I'm very happy to meet you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Every day, you face a great deal of uncertainty. But one thing remains the same. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we include Disney Plus with your unlimited plan. And plans start at just $35 per line.
How about that?
Your body benefits from movement, but your mind benefits from stillness. Practice uniting the two with a free trial at glow.com. Discover new flavors, explore new places, while sharing unique moments with those you love most. Enhance your experience wherever you are with San Pellegrino, a new kind of nutrition for a new kind of active. Vega, helping you to be better every day. Our communities are stronger when we join together. We can serve all of our neighbors experiencing hunger by just one act of kindness at a time. Find a local food bank near you at feedingamerica.org. They say laughter is the best medicine.
Can't go to school ever again.
Of course, actual medicine is the best medicine.
Wait, how'd you get your video like that?
Right, you got us over here looking like a hot mess.
No, it's actually a powerful live streaming app for Mac called Ecamm Live. You can add some overlays to your video, whether it's a simple graphic or you want to have some titles or other info at the bottom of your screen. You can even add animated overlays like this one or this one. And you can add branded overlays to frame you and your guests and look like a real legit broadcast. And you can save each layout as a scene and switch between them with the press of a button.